We go. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the live stream. It must be Thursday at 5 o'clock. Appreciate you guys tuning in. My name is Adam Miller with the 941 Lifestyle Group, coming to you live from Lakewood Ranch. This is live stream number 4, plugging away. Love doing these live streams. If you're joining us live, appreciate you joining us. If you have been watching the live streams not live and watching the replay, I appreciate that. Slowly but surely, it's growing. We just hit 100 subscribers today, which is awesome. I'm not really big on counting the subscriber count because I've grown a channel before too, and the vast majority were not subscribers, and I still had millions of views, which was awesome. And of course, a ton of business from real estate. But we hope to be your go-to resource for Lakewood Ranch, whether that is real estate, whether that's just knowing what the heck is going on. So do me a favor, drop a comment down below. Let us know where you guys are watching from. Always like to hear that one. And the reason I love doing these live streams is because it gives me the opportunity, whether live or after the fact, to have a conversation with you guys. So drop your comments down below. Let us know where you're watching from. You can always send us an email or a text message. Contact information is in the description down below. If we don't catch you on the live stream, we do a pretty good job of responding back after the fact. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. I got a lot of fun stories to go over today, so I'm pretty excited for this one. And a couple months ago, I proposed this question, and nobody was able to give me the answer, which is kind of the reason for the title today. Where exactly is Lakewood Ranch? And when I show you the first story, you will know what I mean. So I guess without further ado, let's just kind of jump into sharing the screen, and I'm going to you'll see what I'm talking about. Share my screen. There we go. So I said, where is Lakewood Ranch? Specifically because of this neighborhood. This is Monterey Village in Lakewood Ranch. And I went out to go look at these homes. First of all, their homes are stunningly gorgeous. I said that a lot about some of the homes for sale in Lakewood Ranch, but these were phenomenal. Now, full disclosure, there are only 2 model homes. And at the time I went out there, probably like a month or so ago, I think there were like 2, maybe 3 homes under construction. So when I say the homes are gorgeous, I'm basing it on the 2 model homes. Model home was so nice, I actually saved it as my screensaver on my computer. But the reason that I asked, where is Lakewood Ranch, is because Monterey, I guess, is not really in Lakewood Ranch per se. It's like 3.5 miles east of Lakewood Ranch. So if you take Lorraine Road south, it pretty much dead ends currently at Fruitville Road. Fruitville will drop you off to the west in downtown Sarasota. And to the east, it ends on Verna Road, which takes you out to Mayaca City. But this is a Toll Brother community, and it is 3.5 miles east. So if you look at the map of Lakewood Ranch, Monterey is just not even in Lakewood Ranch. It doesn't border any other community. So I was like, how? I don't understand. How is that possible? None of my real estate friends can answer that question. I mean, I guess I could have reached out to the folks at Lakewood Ranch. But here's what I found out. So Toll Brothers, they're a builder, very well known, well respected, and they bought some property east of Lakewood Ranch. They've also, by the way, built the Isles on University Parkway, another one of my favorite communities. Really phenomenal homes there. But here's what happened. It says, how do you get around it? So Toll Brothers paid for the right to be annexed by Lakewood Ranch as much as you can, and annexed an unincorporated area, which is Lakewood Ranch, unincorporated. But here's what happened. So I'll read it to you. This is what Rex Jensen, the SMR's CEO and president, explained back in 2019. When you buy a home here, you're not just buying a house, you're buying into a very active, engaging lifestyle. So some real estate developments are projects, in quotes, and not communities, also in quote. They don't have schools, they don't have churches, they don't have parks inside them, they don't have employment opportunities. To me, that's the difference between a square and a cube. This is what Rex Jensen is saying. So when Toll Brothers sent out its announcements that sales had begun in Monterey, it also included prompts to connect with Lakewood Ranch Information Center and the Lakewood Ranch app, which I thought was very interesting. So anyway, it's very strange. They basically kind of bought their way into being Lakewood Ranch. This is the model home that I saved on my screensaver. It's just a stunningly, gosh, so beautiful. Absolutely love this home. So the marketing director at Toll Brothers said Monterey is going to currently consist of 113 single-family homes. They're going to be priced from the mid 700s to way more than $1 million. Now, I know for a fact that home is way more than $1 million. I can't remember what he told me off the top of my head. I want to say he said it was like 1.3. Yeah, and that, by the way, does not include the lot. And here's what I thought was interesting, which is another thing that made absolutely no sense. So in Lakewood Ranch, there is kind of the regular Lakewood Ranch, and then there is Waterside, which is in Sarasota County. None of those communities in Waterside are gated, except for this one. Technically not in Waterside. Yeah, it's technically close to Waterside. I'm not even sure they consider it in Waterside, but it's going to be the only one in Sarasota currently that is gated. So I thought that was really interesting too. The home is going to be 2,500 square feet to well over 4,900 square feet. And again, it's amenity rich, which is what you expect in Lakewood Ranch. The walking trails, fitness center, resort pool, a dog park, an event lawn, pickleball courts. The construction for the amenity center will not even begin until 2025. So theoretically, you can move in. Also says residents can begin moving into the village in January. Yeah, so construction is not even going to start until fall of 2025, which, even if you're just completely efficient, that means you could be living in that community without access to all those amenities I just listed off for another year and a half. I will tell you, honestly, me personally, I say this a lot in a lot of my videos. I love this community. Can I live out that way? It's possible. I mean, for 10 years, I lived out east, out in Mayaca City. I think it's further than that currently is, or pretty darn close to it. I don't know. I really like it. Now, I currently don't have the money for that, but one day. All right. So I'm going to continue on. By the way, all these articles I'm going to go through today, they'll be in the description down below. This one, I thought it would be a good idea to discuss. So something Jessica and I had started long before actually moving to Maui was something called Closings with Aloha. We take a portion of our commission at closing, put it aside, make a donation to some nonprofits. So we've been doing this long before moving to Maui. We obviously lived on Maui, so the Closings with Aloha certainly resonated there. But we're going to continue to do the same thing. We made that decision the other day. I'm not going to make the announcement of everybody who is involved in terms of what nonprofit organizations, but I will tell you that Nate's Honor Animal Rescue is definitely one of those ones on there. We'd love to give them back to our furry friends. But there has been 3 hoarding cases recently, and they're in desperate need of people to adopt some dogs. They have almost 100 dogs came in. They're way over capacity. That's a lot. That's a lot of dogs. So if you're watching this and you live local and you are in a position to take care of a furry friend, you may want to consider going to Nate's. If you're not in the position to take care of a dog, maybe share this article. Again, I'm going to put all these in the description down below. If you know somebody who might want to take in a furry friend, they're in desperate need. They need money. They obviously need somebody to take care of the pets. I'll leave that alone. This one I am super excited about. If you like blues music, of course, it seems like a no-brainer that the inaugural Lakewood Ranch Blues Festival is going to be taking place on December 7th. I personally did not recognize any of the names of any of the bands who are playing. There's a link down below if you want to buy tickets. I thought the prices were fairly reasonable, $75. $90 for the day of. Tons and tons and tons of bands. Lakewood Ranch Blues Festival. Exclusive food and drink. The lineup is Melody Angel from Chicago, Dylan Triplett. Drop a comment if you know any of these folks. Mitch Woods. By the way, speaking of semi blues, Dickie Betts died today from the Allman Brothers. Not really blues, but blues-ish. Yeah. Anyway, this looks like this is going to be a great show. We did not get tickets yet. I don't know if they are on tickets went on sale yet. It does not say anything. But there's a link to the website, and if you want to get tickets, you can get tickets. All right, moving on. Pat Neal. I like Pat Neal. I've reached out to him actually a few times back when I lived out in Myakka City. But here's why I'm sharing this article. So Pat Neal joins other builders in the Give Back program in Lakewood Ranch, as they should. They're making a ton of money. Lakewood Ranch has just been phenomenal for home builders. But there was something in this article, and I was like, I like that one. So I'm not going to go through the details of what they're doing to give back. They're basically kind of like what we're doing, taking a portion of their commission at closing, but they're taking taking a portion of their sales at closing and donating it to the Lakewood Ranch Community Fund, which was awesome. But the thing that I really loved to hear was, where did I see it? They were talking about how there are a whole bunch of other builders who are all giving back. And even though that they are competitors, where did I see that? Anyway, the whole point is that, they are competitors, but they are all working together to do good for Lakewood Ranch. So I appreciated that one. If you want to read the full article, it is down below. But they've given millions of dollars, and so super excited about that one. This article I heard about as soon as we moved back to Lakewood Ranch, and I'm very intrigued by it. And I'll tell you why in a second. So, will the new residents sound off about the racetrack noise? You know what the answer is. 100% chance that whether it's in a year after moving in, or 5 years moving in, or 10 years moving in, they're going to complain about the racetrack noise. So anyway, the gist of it is there's a racetrack, by the way, in Bradenton off of State Road 64. How far does sound travel? It's a question for future home buyers along State Road 64 in Manatee County. 2 housing developments are being proposed for the intersection of State Road 64 and Lighterwood Trail. But there's also Bradenton Motorsports, which is about 2 miles away. The projects have not been approved just yet. It is highly likely they're going to be approved because that's just how things work in Lakewood Ranch. Palm Grove by Neal Communities is going to be there. So the application requests a rezone of 85 acres to build 600 multifamily units, 84 single-family attached units, and 75 single-family detached units. The property is located on State Road 64 between Uline Road and Lighterwood Trail. Uline Road runs north-south. You can take it all the way to, I think, Fruitville Road, all the way up to State Road 64. Anyway, there's a couple of different developments coming in, but Lakewood Ranch schools like BD Gullet Elementary is already over capacity. So Manatee County is building a new K-8 school. And I have heard rumors that a school is supposed to come in Sarasota County. I've not heard anything about another high school, but I'm going to gather if the elementary schools are over capacity, that eventually the middle schools and the high schools are going to be over capacity as well too. But the elementary schools expect to open in 2025 to 2026. That is also near to the racetrack. Not going to be as big of a deal because obviously the kids are in school during the daytime and the races are either during the night or in the evenings. But this I thought was cool. There is going to be a buyer beware. So buyers who purchase homes in this area are going to have to sign away that they're very well aware that there is going to be noise. Now, here's why I wanted to bring up this article. I lived for a decade less than 2 miles away from the racetrack in the other direction. I promise you, if you are an owner thinking about moving into one of those neighborhoods when they get built, you will absolutely, positively hear the racetrack. There is a speedway as well as I'm not sure the proper terminologies. I'm not really a race connoisseur, like a drag strip where they just drive fast straight away, plus a round racetrack where they race. You absolutely, positively can hear it. I never mind. Actually, I kind of loved it. You can hear the announcer, you can hear the racers, and it's been around for 50 years. It does great for the for the community. Just a great sense of community. Just a great group of people. I never minded the noise at all. I was almost always home on a Sunday unless I was out showing homes. So definitely can hear the noise. Quite honestly, we kind of dug it. But again, I didn't spend $1 million on a house, but there's no question that you will hear that noise. So I thought it was interesting that you're going to have to sign a waiver first. The article goes on to talk about, and I'm not going to go through all of this, about Laguna Seca, which is a racetrack in California. And even though they are only open, they only have races 35 days a year, they were still sued by the people who lived around the area. And they lost. And they had to spend $2 million and build things to protect from the noise. So that's going to happen here in Lakewood Ranch, even though people are going to sign that waiver saying that, yes, I'm very well aware that there's going to be noise from the racetrack. Anyway, I thought that was going to be a kick. Okay, so I'm going to start doing this every week. This, like I said, this is live stream number 4. So this is the multiple listing service back end from what we see as real estate agents. And obviously, I'm not going to go through this in all details, but what I want to be able to do is just to kind of show you these numbers so that as we review these week after week, year after year, you'll kind of have a reference point of what is, I don't want to say typical, but what is kind of semi-normal. So what I'm looking at is right here in the center. I think you can see that, right? This is the market watch. And I pulled up the time frame for 7 days. You can do 3 days, you can do today, 24 hours, but 7 day kind of gives you a good reference. So in terms of new listings, there were 447 new properties to get listed in the last 7 days. Price decrease. This is why I want to show you this one. 868 homes dropped their price over the last 7 days. Now, I know because I pay attention to this number, that is a ginormous number. That happens for, well, I like to say it happens for one of two reasons, but to be quite honestly, I did a video about this the other day, a little controversial, got a lot of crap, but I don't really care. There's only one reason that it's overpriced, and that is the real estate agent's fault. Because even if you are a seller and you say, hey, Adam, I know my house is worth $850, but I want to list it for $950. Am I willing to walk away from the listings to not overprice it for $100,000? Probably. It is the agent's fault, because the agent is the one who has the knowledge to know very well that if you list your house $100,000 over the asking price, that it's not going to sell and you're going to have to drop the price. The downside to doing that and testing out the market, and I'm going to do a full video on that one too, is there's also information about the days on the market. How many days is a home on the market before getting an offer accepted, and how many days is it on the market before it closes? Those are two vitally important numbers. Let's just say, for example, in your neighborhood, the average days before you get an accepted offer is 30 days. And your house, you wanted to overprice it, $100,000. And it's sat on the market, and it's sat on the market, and it's sat on the market. And finally, after 45 days with little to no showings and certainly no offers, you decided to adjust the price. Still way overpriced. So now at absolute minimum, even if you got an offer the day you adjusted the price, that's 45 days, which is 15 days more than the average. The first question a buyer is going to ask, certainly ask us. Of course, we're going to tell that buyer that. Why is the house on the market longer than the average? And the reason is it's overpriced. Or maybe buyers don't even ask. They just assume that either the seller is unmotivated, not really wanting to sell, or just unrealistic. So terrible idea to do that. So then there is back on the market, and there's a couple of reasons that properties come back on the market. They had an offer that was accepted. It fell out, came back on the market. Sometimes those are listings that failed to sell and came back on the market. There were 386 homes to sell in the last 7 days. The next one I want to make sure that you are aware of each week when we go through this one is expired. Now, the interesting thing about Florida, at least this area, and I remember this regularly, is for some reason or other, real estate agents in this area seems to when they write up their listing agreement, they seem to end their contract date on the end of the month. Not sure why. That's something that's just normal, meaning, I listed property today. It's a 6-month contract. We're going to make the listing agreement expire on whatever that is, October 31st, Halloween. So usually on the first of the month, that expired number is through the roof. So now 7 days ago is not the first of the month. So the sheer fact that there are still 38 properties that have expired in the last 7 days, right? That's about 6, 7. That's about seven a day. If I'm doing my math right, 6.5 a day expired. There's only one reason a property expires: because it was overpriced. If you overprice a property, it expires. That means that it failed to sell whatever the listing agreement was, a 6-month contract, a 3-month contract, a year contract. One reason that a property fails to sell: it was overpriced, because a house that's situated on an 8-lane highway will sell for the right price. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show you specifically about this. We'll go through this every week. I'm just going to touch on this. On a side note, the real estate statistics just came out today from the Real Estate Association of Sarasota and Manatee County. They came out for March 2024, as well as the first quarter results. I briefly went through them. I'm going to do a video about them this weekend. Stay tuned. Those are coming soon. Let us continue on with some articles. First, let me have a sip of water. Hey, by the way, Lakewood Ranch all day. I got some good swag. You can check that out online. I think I have lwrallday.com and Lakewood Ranch allday.com. Go check it out. Shirts, hats, koozies, not koozies, but other cool stuff. Go check it out. Yeah, this one I thought was kind of cool because I have not been here, but I am a huge fan of chocolate. And this guy makes some good chocolates. Norman Love Confections moved in next to Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's is on University Parkway, west of I-75. Crazy busy shopping plaza, but they have good chocolate. So if you're in the neck of the woods, go check it out. I very briefly wanted to talk about another new community that is popping up in Lakewood Ranch. There are no models currently in Shellstone. I'm told that the models available for Shellstone are the models that are currently in Lake House Cove. Drop a comment if that is correct or incorrect, just so I know. So Shellstone is currently under construction. It is on Lorraine Road, just before you get to Fruitville Road. So it's in Sarasota County, the southern part of Lakewood Ranch. You can kind of see the little map there on the bottom where it is down here. Homes are going to range from a little over 2,000 square feet to over 3,700 square feet. They're going to be 682 homes, and they're going to be built by Homes by Town as well as Lee Wetherington. I wanted to show you this map really quick just so you can kind of get the gist of what it looks like. Can you see that? I think you can see that one. Make it a little larger for you. I thought, here's why I thought this was a cool neighborhood. So first of all, they're going to share amenities with Wild Blue. So if you know where that is, this is just a little further south than that. So the reds are unavailable. Green is still available. Oh, it does say there's a model. Okay, so they're building models. Looks like they're building 3 models in there. Not complete at the moment, but I am so intrigued by this little, I guess you call it peninsula in there. Can you see that? You can see that, right? Yeah. So you can see 2 of those are sold already. Here's what was so intriguing for me. Can you see those 3 houses in the middle? Like, I thought it was strange that they would build that, because all these are going to have epic water views. But then you have the 3 in the middle, which I don't think are going to have views. They're going to be looking out at other houses. I don't know. I think if I was the builder, I probably would have left that, I don't know, left that alone so you could I don't know. All have water views. Anyway, hey, I wanted to ask you something too, real quick too. This is on a completely different side note. I know I'm bouncing around, getting a little sidetracked. So our channel, it's all about, um, it's about Lakewood Ranch. I said that from the very, very get-go. This channel is going to be specifically about Lakewood Ranch real estate, things to do in Lakewood Ranch, just about life in Lakewood Ranch. But I had an idea, and bear with me, and I'd love to hear your feedback on it. Although I'm probably going to do it anyway. One of the things I want to add to the videos is things to do in and around Lakewood Ranch. So it might not necessarily be things to do in Lakewood Ranch, but one of the things I love about Lakewood Ranch is it's really convenient. Tampa is an hour away, St. Pete, about 40 minutes away. Disney in Orlando is about 2 hours away. You can be down to Key West, probably like, what can you read? The Keys to about 5 hours. Key West, a little longer than that, maybe 8 hours. But one of the things you should know about me, yes, I'm a real estate agent. Yes, I'm a lifestyle matchmaker, but I also love fishing. Love, love, love fishing. We just got kayaks. And we're going to head out and do some kayak fishing. So I wanted to do a video about that, but it doesn't really kind of fit the motive of Lakewood Ranch. And that's why I was thinking, it's like, well, maybe I can just do a video about how close the Gulf of Mexico is if you want to go kayaking and fishing. Now, don't get me wrong, you can go kayaking in Lakewood Ranch. There's plenty of, obviously you can see there's water. Well, you can't see, I took the map off, but there's plenty of water. You can go kayaking in those. The Manatee River is close. But one of the places that we're going to go kayak fishing is not in the Gulf of Mexico, but just outside Anna Maria Sound. It's right before Anna Maria Island. And yeah, drop a comment down below. What do you think? Is that a good idea? Not a good idea? I think it's a good idea. And then finally, I thought I would end on a positive note. I did a video the other day talking about how there were, I think, 8 insurance companies that came back to Florida, which is great because it was just a massive, massive issue with all these companies leaving. Because what happened was, and they talk about it here, is because so many of them left, the state's Citizens Property Insurance Company, which really was supposed to be kind of like the backup insurance company, they became the largest insurer in Florida, which was terrible. They were not supposed to be the largest insurer, but all these companies left because of lawsuits for a whole lot of reasons. Because, insurance is like gambling. You hope that there's no need for the insurance, but we've had a ton of hurricanes and a lot of damage. And between the lawsuits, insurance companies left and prices went through the roof. They're still really high. However, the president of Florida Peninsula Insurance, who I don't know anything about, but I'm happy to see this one, says that there's going to be a 2% average rate decrease. So anytime somebody lowers their price, especially in, the economy, inflation, I don't need to tell you all that one. So I think the sheer fact that they are adjusting those prices, I thought that was going to be a good thing. So I thought that was a good way to kind of end on a positive note. And yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Hey, by the way, in the description down below, I do have my contact information down below. I do have some access to some free guides. I have a home buying guide, a home selling guide, a relocation guide, a guide to retiring Lakewood Ranch. If you have any questions at all, you can reach out to me. Did want to let you know also too that we actually have 2 YouTube channels. The one you're currently watching now, 941 Lifestyle Group, but we also have one that has just home tours. I'm really enjoying doing these home tours. I think we probably have 12 or 15 home tours on that channel. And I talked to my editor this morning too. I think we still have another 20 that are recorded, done in the pipeline. Currently, these are all model homes within Lakewood Ranch, but eventually they're going to be our listings. They could potentially be home tours of other real estate agents. We've had phenomenal success with our marketing efforts. What we do best in real estate, honestly, is marketing. So we're having a lot of fun with these home tours. So that one is 941 Premier Home Tours. Do me a favor, if you like the channel, subscribe to it. Drop your comments down below. I'm serious when I say I will get back to you. Get the good, the bad, the difference. I definitely want to know where you are watching from as well. And I appreciate all of you who are supporting the channel, all of you who have subscribed. I appreciate all of you who have reached out with questions about moving to Lakewood Ranch. Definitely appreciate the sellers who have reached out, the homeowners who are thinking about selling. And yeah, I am super excited for this year coming up, and I'm super excited to drop more videos, and I'm super excited to be your go-to resource for all things Lakewood Ranch. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will do these every Thursday at 5 p.m. They will go 20 minutes, they will go 30 minutes, they will go an hour and a half. I'm here for you. So the more people who join in, the more questions and comments you get, the more I will join. And yes, show Mr. Gregory Johnson from Tampa. I hope you're doing well, my friend. We got to figure out a time that we could get together. One of these days, maybe we'll go grab a game at the see the Tampa Bay Rays. Go enjoy a day watching some baseball. All right, we appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much, and yeah, we'll talk to you soon.